Okay, so let's take a look at setting up some IKs with Python on the arms and the legs here. Then we'll look at what we can do from there. So what we want to do is basically, if we were in the rigging menu set, we're going to create IK handles. So we would click on the shoulder and then the wrist, and it creates an IK handle like that for us. So let's look at the history and see what happened. So we selected the left shoulder, we added to the selection the wrist, and then we did the IK handle command. So let's create another function here. This is going to be create IKs and then let's define that. Define create IKs. And then it's going to be something like mc dot IK handle. And then we would give it whatever flags. So let's look at the command documentation. And in the command documentation, we can look at the bottom for an example. So SJ and E. So SJ is the start joint. So if we look at SJ start joint, and then EE is the end effector. So let's find that so that we can see it. EE, end effector. So specifies the end effector of the handle's IK chain. So that is the two things that we're going to want to know, is where the start joint is and where the end effector is. And then P, let's look at P priority, an integer. I'm not sure we have to set that one because I'm not too familiar with priority is. It is an integer. All handles are priority 1 are solved before any handles of priority 2. Okay, so it's just the order. I'm not going to set anything on that. And then weight. So that should be closer towards N for W weight. Specify the handle's weight in error calculations. So I'm not going to send that either. It will just set whatever the defaults are for either of those. So what we need is the start joint and then the end effector. Okay, let's go back over here. So we're going to say start joint, SJ, is equal to, and then we know that the start joint is the shoulder joint. And then the end effector is going to be the wrist joint in this case. Okay, and then let's skip down and then we will save this really quick and delete this, and then let's try running all of this and see if we get an error or if it works. So it looks like we get the IK handle here, which is great. That is what we want. And we have the whole skeleton. So here with the IK handle, what I would like to do is make sure that the IK handle is named. So what we can say is something like name is equal, N for name is equal to L underscore arm underscore IK underscore handle. Okay. So let's try running this. Create skeleton, create rig, goes through the whole process, and then we have the IK handle named the way we would like it to be named. So that is good for us. That is what we want. So we're going to set up the same thing now with the hip there, and then the ankle. So we have the two selections here. We can copy this, paste it, and then here instead of left shoulder, we're going to do the left hip, and instead of the left wrist, we are doing the left ankle, and then this is going to be the left leg IK handle. Okay, so let's run all of this, clear the scene, create skeleton, create rig. There we go. We have two handles. They are all each named individually. There we go. Okay, that looks great for us. That is exactly what we want. Okay, so let's look at the next step. Basically, the next step from here that we want to do is take the skeleton here, and if we go to the skeleton in the rigging menu set, if we go to skeleton, what we're going to do is mirror the joints on the YZ plane, and then we're going to search for capital L underscore and replace it with capital R underscore. And let's apply that. And we can see that it sets it up on the other side here. And then let's look at the settings really quick for the mirror joints. Yep. So that looks good. You'll see that the orientation of the joints are correct. They are just kind of in the negative direction. So we're going to set that up so that it mirrors over, so I can just push G. And we can see that the names are all R, and it keeps the name. So everything is really nicely set up so that we don't have to do everything we did on the left-hand side on the right-hand side. Although with this one here, you can see on the leg we keep the IK handle where we didn't on the arm over here. The reason being is that we didn't mirror from the shoulder, we mirrored from the clavicle. So we keep it on the leg, but we don't keep it on the upper body. Okay, so let's clear the scene one more time. Create skeleton, create rig, and after we create the rig, let's look at mirroring this, and we should be able to do it both at the same time. And then click mirror. Nope. So we have to do them one at a time. Mirror that one, and then mirror that one. I just push G on the keyboard to repeat the action. Okay. And we can see mirror joint, mirror YZ behavior, mirror behavior, and then search and replace L with R. Okay. So let's do. What I'm going to do is just do mirror joints right before it, so that way we have the joints, and then we can create the. Oh, sorry. Right before we create the IK handles, and then we can create the IK handles for both sides because we're doing it through scripts. It won't be too much extra work, just one extra line of code than what we would need otherwise. So this is going to be mirror skeleton. Oops. We're going to define mirror skeleton. Then what we are doing is an MC dot mirror joint. And then again, let's just quickly check the command documentation so that we can see an example of how it runs here. So mirror joint and then the selected joint that you're mirroring. That is easy enough for us. So that is going to be, and then we can set these behaviors here. So here we know that we're going to need, let's save that. We're going to need this joint and this joint. We need both of those. So now that we have those, we can go here. Oops. And let's find those functions really quick. There you go. So we're going to mirror the hip joint. And then we are also going to, let's copy all of this. Actually, let's finish this here. So mirror joint, we are going to do mirror YZ equals true. And the reason we're doing that is because we set it to YZ and then mirror behavior and then search and replace. So that is true. Then we want mirror behavior equals true, and then search replace is equal to. So that's one that I'd like to double check before I write it. So we should have it open here. Search and replace, so we can see it's an array with 2 items in it. And let's see if I can make this a little bit smaller so that we can see everything that I'm trying to type. There you go. So it's going to be an array, and we're going to search for L underscore and replace that with R underscore. Okay. Now we can copy this, paste it here, and then the only other difference is that we're doing the clavicle here. Okay. Let's run this, clear the scene, make sure we don't get any errors. Goes through, it creates everything. That looks great. We just need to make sure to add the mirror or the IK handles for the right hand side on the IK script. So let's go over here and we should have the IK handle script. basically we are going to copy all of this and paste it, and this is going to be for the right side. We could do it as a loop or a function if we wanted to, but it's only 2 items here. So I am just going to do it by hand, hard-code it in. Okay. So let's clear the scene and let's run this. And create skeleton, create rig, it should go through. And we have the IK handles on both sides, both legs. They all work. Great. Okay, so that is going to be it for this tutorial. Let's save this script, and we will see you guys on the next one.